Mr. Man series, Mr. Busy by Roger Hargreaves. Hi, I'm Werner. I've been reading hundreds of books for you. Please subscribe so you see them all. And watch until the end where a surprise is waiting for you. Thank you. There has never been anybody quite like Mr. Busy. He could do things 10 times as fast as you or I could. For instance, if he was reading this book, he'd have finished it by now. He lived in a very busy-looking house, which he'd built himself, as you can see. It had lots of doors and windows, and do you know what it was called? Weekend cottage. Do you know why? Because that's how long it took him to build it. Now, next door to Mr. Busy lived someone who wasn't quite such a busy person. In fact, a very unbusy person. Mr. Slow. If he was reading this book, he'd read it like this. He'd still be on the first page. And that same fine summer morning at 7:05, when Mr. Busy knocked at his door, Mr. Slow was fast asleep in bed. He'd gone in bed for an afternoon nap the day before, and somehow hadn't awakened until he heard Mr. Busy knocking at his door. "Who's that knocking at my door?" he called downstairs. "Good morning," cried Mr. Busy. "Can I come in?" And without waiting for an answer, he went inside. "Where are you?" he called. "Upstairs," came the slow reply. So Mr. Busy went up the steps, 2 at a time. "Good heavens," he said, "you are still in bed." And he made Mr. Slow get up. And he made his bed for him and cooked his breakfast for him and cleaned his house for him. Poor Mr. Slow. He hated to be rushed and fussed over. "Okay," said Mr. Busy briskly. "It's a fine day. Let's go on a picnic." Mr. Slow made a face. "I don't like picnics," he complained. "Nonsense," replied Mr. Busy, and busied himself in Mr. Slow's kitchen, making a picnic lunch for the two of them. It took him a minute and a half. "Okay," he cried when he'd finished. "Off we go." And he hurried Mr. Slow out his front door, and off they went. As you can imagine, Mr. Busy walks extremely quickly, and as you can imagine, Mr. Slow doesn't. So, by the time Mr. Busy had walked a mile, do you know how far Mr. Slow had walked? To his own garden gate. Mr. Busy hurried back. "Come on," he cried impatiently. "Hurry up!" "Hurry up," replied Mr. Slow. "Impossible." "Oh, all right," said Mr. Busy. "We'll have a picnic in your garden. Wait a minute though," he added. "The grass needs cutting." And he rushed back to Weekend Cottage and rushed back again with his lawn mower and rushed up and down cutting Mr. Slow's lawn. It took him 2.5 minutes. It would have taken him 2 minutes, but he had to mow around Mr. Slow, who couldn't get out of the way in time. "Okay," cried Mr. Busy, "picnic time!" And together, on that fine summer day, they had a fine picnic. Well, actually, Mr. Busy had a finer picnic than Mr. Slow, because he ate more quickly and had most of the food. Mr. Busy stretched out on the grass. "That was fun," he said. "I like picnics." "You do, I don't," said Mr. Slow. "Tell you what," went on Mr. Busy, ignoring him. "Tomorrow we'll go on a real picnic, out in the country." Mr. Slow made a face. "And," went on Mr. Busy, "in order to do that and get you out into the country, I'll have to call for you earlier than I did this morning." Mr. Slow made another face. "See you tomorrow then," said Mr. Busy, and went home and cleaned his house from bottom to top. The following morning, Mr. Busy jumped out of bed at 5 o'clock and took a bath, brushed his teeth, and cooked his breakfast, and ate his breakfast, and read the paper, and washed up, and made his bed, and cleaned the house from top to bottom. By that time it was 6 o'clock. He went and knocked on Mr. Slow's front door. Come on," he cried. "Time to be up and about. Picnic day." No reply. "Come on," cried Mr. Busy again. No reply. Mr. Busy went inside and went up the steps, 3 at a time, and into Mr. Slow's bedroom, expecting to find him in bed. But he wasn't. And he wasn't anywhere upstairs. And he wasn't anywhere downstairs. "Drat," said Mr. Busy. "I wonder where he's gone." Where Mr. Slow had gone was under his bed, to hide. He didn't want to go on any picnic, not he. "Drat," said Mr. Busy again. "That means I'll have to go on a picnic by myself." Under his bed, Mr. Slow smiled a slow smile. "What a good idea," he said, and went to sleep, snoring very slowly. Are you a slow or fast person? Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Enjoy my new series Oliver and Jumpy. 19 video books with about 500 pictures. There's text, but I also read it aloud for the younger children. I have written 65 stories and had them illustrated at great cost for your children's fun. Oliver is an elegant tomcat and Jumpy is his lady friend. Oliver loves to ride in Jumpy's pouch when they go for adventures together. Please find a link to the first book in the description of this video. Please always subscribe and like if you find my effort interesting. Thank you so much.